All right. Welcome to another Woods Report.
Okay.
Lots going on. I can honestly say that.
Okay.
State of the Union.
Well, every time they have a State of the Union, there's so much feedback, good and bad.
Exactly.
Good, the bad, the ugly.
Good. We're doing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
State of the Union. We
State
were all
of the
waiting on
Union.
this. Both sides were waiting because with
Both-
this, even Trump was waiting.
Both sides was waiting. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Biden, so it's not like I was sitting there going, "Oh, I love Biden. I can't wait to hear what Biden got to say." But I can't stand Trump, so I'm gonna be listening to see. I said he needed to come out swinging.
He
I
was
said
a
it.
Sleepy Joe last night.
You cannot be Sleepy Joe. This was your campaign, pretty much kicking off your campaign.
And it's probably needed because we really don't know how Trump is going to act. Right now, Trump is saying, let's do a debate.
Right.
They may not even do one. So this was Biden's chance to.
And he's also president. So he can go on like all the time.
Anytime and do a state.
Anytime he wants to go on air, he can go on air and talk to everybody.
That's
anytime
true.
he wants to.
Any updates that we need to know?
Any updates.
So let's see.
So
feedback.
What'd you say?
I said, let's see what everybody's feedback is.
Yep. Christopher says, greetings and salutations. Salutations to you too. La, 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 la. All right. Where you going?
Gotta get my noise maker.
Oh my gosh. She going to get a noisemaker.
This is Friday's show.
Oh, all right. Well, you moving the whole table moving as you walk. Okay, so go ahead. You doing your clap thing first? The little cheap piece of...
Welcome.
That lady who did the Republican rebuttal needed that.
Yes, she did.
Because she was just as cheesy.
Ooh,
but I get ahead of myself.
Okay.
I get ahead of myself.
And did you listen to feedback on both sides?
Oh yeah, I listened.
Okay, because I'm thinking,
yeah.
you know what, they can bomb if they do like a perfect 100 score State of the Union address. The other side will always still find negative.
You'll always find
his tie was crooked. Now they did say that he made the comment about calling the migrants illegal aliens.
Well, that's
that was a slip. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a slip. He did it because he wanted to appease the people that the other side.
Well, I know Schumer was
There's
saying
no slips.
Schumer was saying that regardless of that, it didn't matter.
It don't matter.
He still came out talking
right,
about
right. And you shouldn't. Who cares what we call?
But that's what Fox would say.
Yeah. You so worried about what people call people.
Yeah.
That's a liberal thing.
Yeah.
About what people say and call people.
Yeah,
and all this
we don't
stuff.
like calling names and stuff. Okay.
Don't talk about people. You being so mean. That's all that
They
stuff.
go low, you go high.
Yeah,
when
that's
they go
all.
high, you go low.
Yeah, that's
what
all.
Is it? When they go low,
we go high.
We go high.
Michelle Obama. That's all. And knowing she just lived from Chicago, she didn't do that. She knows she was scrapping on the street talking about they go low.
I don't think she got in fights.
Please.
She from Chicago.
Well,
she probably fought with her mouth.
I bet you she didn't go high when they was going low. She went low too.
You're not coming at me, but
thank you.
Saying that I look like so-and-so.
She is not from Chicago and she go high and they go low. But anyway, that sound like Obama. That sound like something he taught her when they got married or something.
Honey, calm down.
But anyway, key takeaways from Biden's fiery State of the Union speech.
Are you going to bring what's her name in?
She have to wait till she say she in.
Oh, okay.
See, we always stall the show when
I didn't know. I didn't say that she had to do it on here.
So right.
Okay.
Or yeah. Okay. All right. So there are worse places for a president to introduce the themes of his final campaign than in a primetime, nationally televised speech before a joint session of Congress. Now, the first thing that everybody noticed, it wasn't your normal State of the Union address.
Okay.
He knew he had to run for office. And that's what he did. I'll read it later. Mm-hmm. He knew he had to run for office. Her. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. And so that's what he did.
Okay.
He ran for office. He had to do it that night.
He addressed things that we all were waiting for him to address. Now, a lot of the Democrats, because Kim and I we're independent.
Right. So I'm not a Republican or Democrat.
So both sides, like the Nikki Haley followers,
right,
the third party people, as well as the Democrats, they were all waiting. Okay, this is your moment.
Right.
Please give more details on what's going on in all those major areas that we've been talking about for the last 6 months. Yeah. And I think he nailed it.
He said, my lifetime has taught me to embrace freedom and democracy, a future based on the core values that have defined America: honesty, decency, dignity, equality, to respect everyone, to give everyone a fair shot, and to give hate no safe harbor. Now, some other people my age see a different story. We knew what he was talking about. An American story of resentment, revenge, and retribution. He said, Comover said, when I get in office, I'm going to seek revenge on everybody who came after me.
He sure did.
He's such a moron.
He's like our payback. When we all in the car,
the big payback.
That's his theme song.
That's what I am.
Our family is the internal joke. But the James Brown, the big payback.
Yes,
that's Trump's theme song.
Yes,
that's
yes you can.
And I don't do no mastering.
Yes you will.
I gotta think of the words.
When I get in, I'm gonna go after the people that came after me. Yes, you will.
That's the fact. Get ready, you mother,
for the big payback. See, that's why black people gonna vote for him, because he's the big payback.
Yeah,
just like the gym shoes.
What's up? He understand. He understand.
He understand. He got a mugshot and felonies.
Shoot, he been there, done that.
So I wanted to pull up some. I wanted to see like if people did some shorts of some of the key takeaway things.
Okay.
So let me see what they came up with.
History is watching, just like history watched 3 years ago on January 6th, when insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy. Many of you were here on that darkest of days. We all saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election posed a gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. But they failed. America stood.
Now you notice Mike Johnson ain't make no move.
Everybody was watching when he clapped, when he didn't clap, his facial expressions. One thing that Trump did say, and he said this at the beginning, that I'm like really, really I had to write it down. When he says, you can't love your country only when you win.
Only when you win.
And that is so profound.
Now, that bozo who sat back there, the Speaker of the House, and I'll say Nancy Pelosi was bad too when she was up there, and Trump was up there. How can you not be? Yeah. So they both was.
You got to be on your best behavior. That's hard to be there for
it's hard, especially if you don't like the person that's up there.
Oh, because you be doing eyes.
But he had to. I felt like he wanted to just squirm down into his seat and go underneath the desk when he was talking about January 6th and insurrectionists and all of that. Because Mike Johnson is one of the people that said the election was stolen.
Yes.
And he's also one of the people that said that those people who went into the Capitol are U.S. citizens. They didn't try to take over.
They was just do on the tour.
Now, if the room, you can hear a pin drop when he was talking about it. Because those same congressmen and senators was hiding under the desk and running for their lives.
Yes.
So if they were just good old American-hearted citizens coming in there, why didn't you stay in the chamber when they came in there? Mm-hmm. You could have met them and greeted them.
Because they wouldn't. Remember, they were not coming in with a problem or issue.
Now, one thing I can't say about Comover, I don't like him, but he's right. He was trying to make the Secret Service take him there.
Yeah.
He felt like they wasn't going to hurt him.
Right.
He was actually
met him at the door.
Yes.
Hey, y'all here to support me?
But those congressmen and those senators ran for their lives.
Especially Pence and his family.
So get out of here with that. Oh, and they're here to help us, and they came in peacefully and they love us.
Just, hey, they didn't do any harm.
Then you should have stayed there then if you wasn't afraid of them. So I like that part. I like that.
History is watching.
Reference to
that reference
when
that he
said that in his.
Yes,
his
I like
speaking.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get to her yet because she's a dummy.
That was the wrong choice.
That was
to do a rebuttal.
Yeah. Let me see. What is this one? Hold on.
I know
he did some gaps. Let's see what they got here.
The State of the Union is strong. Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy of the proposal.
That was what he said last time. He did the same thing again. He said some of y'all want to raise taxes or whatever, $1 trillion or whatever.
Is this an old one?
This is an old one. He did it again last night. They showing how he did the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And so they booed him last time. And he said, oh, am I wrong?
I'll show you the proposal.
Right.
Don't be trying to pretend like y'all think on some other policy direction.
Yeah.
They do that out there. Publicly, that's the same thing they've been having problems with the migration, passing that.
Exactly.
Because in the public, they are totally different than behind doors.
Now, this is when he talked about Gaza.
Oh.
Okay.
For the leadership of Israel, I say this. Humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. As we look to the future, the only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time.
Now, he says all of that. What is he going to do about it? That's the problem that Biden has. You make a big thing about the only solution is a two-state solution. In other words, Israel, you stay where you are, and then you let the Palestinians have the land that they are, and they stay where they are, and they have their government. Right. That's not what Israel wants.
They don't want two states.
They like, you get out of here. It's no state. Right. I don't want anybody living next to me that don't like me.
Regardless of what they want, we got to push harder for what we want. Otherwise,
you don't get no money.
We don't help you in any kind of way. But they're NATO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did. They're not part of NATO?
I don't know. Are they?
I mean, that was one thing he did speak on, the two countries that came into NATO. So
he said Sweden.
And I can't think of the other country.
Right.
But yeah, so if they're part of that, everybody still has to sit and go, okay, Israel, you need to listen.
Yep.
What's going on? No more lives being taken.
Yeah.
Because you're supposedly going with the God that you serve in the Old Testament. No.
Yep.
You need to do better.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let me see. Wendy says that she's in. So we'll go there and see.
Bring you in.
You can still talk.
Oh, I know one of the things, my favorite show, The View, because I like listening to the ladies' view. Sarah did say, at first she thought the clapping, she didn't really agree with it. But then after yesterday, she said, I understand it now.
I like all that clapping.
I found myself clapping. She said, you do need it in support of things.
But they was clapping too much.
I know. It's like every time you would see Vice President Kamala standing up.
Yeah. I like
listening to the but one of the things that
you got to turn your volume down, Wendy.
Turn your volume down.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good.
Turn our volume down.
I like all that. I found my.
I got to turn.
I didn't know you could hear me. I didn't know you could hear me.
Okay.
I didn't know you could hear me.
Oh yeah, we can.
All right, go ahead, Lenora.
One of the things though, when she was saying to stand up, sit down, that's what everybody's eyes go to. The cameras pan in on certain groups, people, visitors. It's a known thing. We're watching somebody what they're wearing. We're watching their facial expressions. Joy did bring up a good point. She said, I noticed there were times where Republicans, there were things that he supposedly said in some of the policies that I thought Republicans were in agreement with. Maybe not 100%
You
of
talking
it.
about the border?
No, not just the border.
Oh, okay.
And then she named some of them because she was saying they could have still clapped. You don't have to stand
what
up.
Was it?
But some of the things that she said, security at the border, because they did talk about that. That was one. Raising taxes on billionaires to lower the national debt. Supporting IVF. Raising teacher salaries. She said, y'all don't want teacher salaries to be raised. There was no clapping.
Well, they were trying to show that they didn't have any solidarity.
I get it. And she says, when he talked about the pipes being poisoned and redoing the pipes so that they can have clean water, nobody clapped from the Republican side. That's not good, she said. Prescription drug prices, lowering that. You don't care. And then cancer. Now, ending cancer. So she said that's a checklist that some of them could have clapped.
Let me tell you why they did.
I'm in agreement with.
Other than the fact that they wanted to be separate from him, this was the parts that Biden wasn't really telling the truth. Now, you got to know, again, I felt like he did what he needed to do. He came out there. He had to show that he had some strength because at this point, everybody was calling him Sleepy Joe. So he had to come out and say, I'm not asleep, I'm up. I'm awake and I'm ready to go here. And he had to draw a distinction between him and comb over. And I felt like he did that. Okay. You want to take the country back with Make America Great Again. I'm trying to go forward. Right. I'm not trying to go back.
Even in my old age.
I'm trying to go forward. He said that.
With new thoughts, new direction.
You can be old in the body, but your mind can still be like, I still want to be innovative.
Some good ideas.
So that was good. I want to put us into other countries doing better than them so that technology, all these innovative ideas, we're at the forefront of it. You trying to take us back to 1960, right, where we was having gasoline cars and the cars was made out of steel. So I'm trying to move us ahead, and you're an 80-year-old man trying to take us back.
And when women didn't have rights.
And women didn't have rights. And they had to stay in the kitchen, which the dumb numbskull Republicans put a rebuttal with a woman in the kitchen.
She does a rebuttal from the kitchen.
He just said, I'm trying to move everybody forward, and the Republicans put her in the kitchen, looking like a Stepford wife. So no, we're not trying to go back. To the woman who poisons you with cookies. No, she's come on in. Get the cookies. I'm good.
She gets the butter knife and
I'm good. It this way. You got kids in the bottom of your basement. I'm good. I don't need to be one of those.
Right.
He's trying to take us back. I'm trying to move us forward. So I feel like he did make a distinction in that. The part that
predecessor that he said 13 times.
The part that he was not being truthful in was in some of the things that he said he was proposing. Now that was the reasons why you said the Republicans wasn't standing up and clapping, because he has not introduced anything to do those. Don't say we are holding you back, and you haven't put anything forward. The Democrats just started looking at the border right now. Now all of a sudden, they want to do stuff with the border. You had 4 years to do it.
The whole saying of "Make America Great Again" was stole from the Ku Klux Klan. That's what they used to say. That was one of their themes. So they don't want us to have any civil rights. They want us to go back to the dogs biting us in the South.
That's true.
That's right. So that is the part when he talked about, and I know Emerald's in here, when he talked about insulin price going down, that's good. But there's a million other drugs that need to go down and he hasn't pushed anything for. So he was treading the line a little bit. He was making it sound like, I really want to get these things done, but he's not doing it. Contrast, and even though some people don't like him, Obama, you guys knew exactly what he wanted to pass when he got in office. He said, my mom was ill. I want health care for everybody. You couldn't turn on Obama without him talking about health care. You couldn't watch anything without him pushing stuff in front of Congress and the Senate. Health care. And they got it passed. Biden has not done that. The things that he was talking about last night have not been the forefront of what he has been doing for the last 4 years, and he has not pushed it. So that is the reason why I believe, one of the reasons why the Republicans did not stand and clap for him when he said stuff that we would think of us would.
But you know what? Still, I don't, for me, no. Because for other than those few items, Joy made a good point, though.
What'd she say?
Because I did see Speaker of the House stand up, of course, when he did a general
about the black people,
about the families that were, affected, or whatever. But he did make mention of Republican leadership when he mentioned Reagan and he mentioned Bush. Now, if anything, every Republican. Yes.
No, because they're not Republicans of Reagan.
I know, but the point I'm trying to make is
they're mega.
Joy is trying to say that you can see the division in the Republican Party by themselves, because when they talked about the migration and that whole proposal, the Republican man, I can't think of his name.
The one that put the bill together.
He's shaking his head
he
saying,
said, you're right.
You're right. So if anything, you can see the divisiveness between the Republican Party members.
They sold that man out, and he was sitting there like, I can't stand none of these people. They sent that man in with other Republicans to sit down in a room and come up with a border bill that was on both parties would agree to it. He went in there with the stuff that the Republicans wanted.
Don't talk too much on it, because I got Schumer talking.
Oh, okay. Then I'll let Schumer say
let
it.
Schumer say
I'll let Schumer say it. And then you'll see why he was sitting there looking like, these people, I can't stand none of these people.
Because Schumer gave very good insight on
you
this.
didn't pass that bill because Comover told you not to. That's why you didn't pass it. And I'm glad that Trump brought that out. Biden brought that out. I wish he would have done more. I wish he was even more feistier, but he wasn't. He was a little feisty. That's as much as you can get it for 80-something. I wish he was very clear.
He did only make a few mistakes, and I'm sure Fox News probably had a whole checklist.
But they can't, because Comover does the same thing. Now, in contrast, while everybody's watching the State of the Union, and everybody's watching the President of the United States of America, including other countries, point out how the economy is good, inflation is good, this, and this. If you don't like me, it's just because you don't like me.
Right.
You can say you don't like me for social issues and things like that. But the main people who are saying you don't like me, I bet you got a job. I bet you got money in the bank. I bet you're doing okay. Bottom line, you just don't like, maybe you don't like the whole thing with transgenders or pro-choice.
Things where you're conservative.
Those are things that you can say. LGBTQ, the border, all of that stuff. But as far as you having a job and working, you doing fine. So shut up.
Okay.
Now, while we're all watching that, Comover is on his social media putting up joke faces and putting up faces of Joe Biden on TikTok and other things.
Well, he's gonna act like a little child that he is.
He is
a little rich boy.
A moron.
Look at that cartoon. Look at Kamala. Her nose is long. Let me draw Biden's head real big.
Now you think
this is our command? This is a person that's running for as our commander in chief.
Now do you understand why even Putin wants to break up with him? He's like a guy who's in love with Putin, and Putin is running for his life.
As Putin says, he's unhinged.
I don't want you liking me.
I can't follow him, and that's not good.
You're a stalker.
Because pretty much, if you think about it, Kim Jong-un, Putin, if they all feel that way, the China leadership, each day, Putin may wake up and say, "Take me out."
Thank you.
Because he's so unhinged and what mood swings, and I can't read him. So I don't know now to deal with him now.
Who don't like him no more?
Isn't that sad?
I don't want you no more, Joe. Like,
you know what?
Like the Jackson family. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. I don't want you no more, Joe. That's Putin. I don't want you no more, Orange Nixon. No. But I love you. I love when you was on the horse with no shirt on.
Yes.
Leave me alone. I don't want you. Leave me alone.
You're a dictator. I love dictators.
You're worse than me. At least people know I'm going to kill him. They don't know what you're going to do.
I dream about being like you every day. That's why I want to get my foot back in the door to be over this country.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I love dictatorship. I love to keep the light on me. Spotlight.
And another thing, a reason why I'm breaking up with you, just like that commercial with Miami Beach breaking up with the spring breakers.
Yes.
Putin needs to put out a commercial on why he's breaking up with Trump.
He probably don't want to start nothing up.
Another reason why
then people get really rowdy and crazy, and he might even do something.
Another reason why I'm breaking up with you. You putting too much light on me. You making everybody look at me, and I don't like that.
But think about it. If you look at a crazy situation like that, you can't just come tell somebody I'm gonna break up with you when there's something not right with them, because they may try to. If I can't have you, no one.
You right.
Or I'll get you. I'll let everybody know about the things you've done. I mean, you never know where that mindset is coming from.
All right, let's see what everybody says. Christopher says, "Go ahead, Wendy.
Ask them if they can hear me."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let Wendy know if y'all can hear her while we read.
Hello, testing 1 2.
Okay.
Testing 1 2.
Christopher says, greetings and salutations. We said that before. I was pleasantly satisfied with Uncle Joe's performance.
I was too.
Justice Frost says, happy Friday, everyone. Biden showed up and showed out.
Old man Biden. Hey, he still got it.
Wendy says, Emerald says, salutations, everyone, and happy Friday. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Emerald says, life-saving medications such those for transplant patients and ridiculously expensive. That's the ones I'm saying I want him to get down.
Yeah, and then you got to remember, this is a state.
But that's good, insulin. That's good.
It's the State of the Union for an hour, and so you maybe just do nitbits of stuff. So if you're talking about medications, they probably got a deeper plan, like you're saying.
Well, put it through. Well, we're talking about it.
I'm just saying we don't know unless we're hearing news coverage.
Like
Senator Schumer.
Yeah.
He came on and said we're doing this, and this.
No, but I'm saying why do they always do everything in the year that it's an election?
It don't matter.
That's what I'm saying. I don't own both sides.
I know you can't do nothing
but
about
anyway,
that. It's the politicians.
Can anybody in there hear me? Can they hear me? Can they hear me?
Yes, they can, Wendy.
They said yeah.
They can. Okay.
Yeah, they
said
said
Emerald said medications for special needs children. These shouldn't have a cap. AG Lady says, this is a good one. You ladies sound crazy. Wow, I hope Trump kicks the girls out sounding so crazy. Thank you, President Biden, for such a wonderful speech tonight. Don't talk about age. Look at your old age. So apparently that's a mega person. That's
it don't matter.
A moron.
We welcome you mega people who don't matter. It don't matter.
Emerald says, obviously this isn't the forum for you, so beat it.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Why do you come into a forum that's for you?
It doesn't matter because we look at both sides. We're independent. Just so you know, whoever you are, we're looking at both sides, boo.
Yeah.
So just so boo. You know, boo.
Justice says you can leave anytime.
And your boy, my mom said today, he has to pay something that's due today.
He got to pay
Why
the
don't
woman.
You help your boy out. Send him some money.
The woman who he sexually offended.
No, I'm saying the New York.
Eugene Carroll.
Yeah, send your boy some money. Any mega person that I see, are you sending your boy Cash Apping him?
Yeah, they are.
Because he owe a lot of money.
They giving him money.
Okay.
They giving him money.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. Emerald says, obviously this isn't a friend from you. You can leave anytime. Justice says, Emerald says, everyone has freedom to a speech just like you. Christopher says, I can hear you, Wendy. Everybody can hear you, Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy, that's good. They can hear you.
Now you said Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, let's hear what I love Chuck. He's one of my favorite senators. I pray you don't mess up.
Where's it at? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
President Biden has a real plan on immigration. I know because we worked on it with the Senate. We put a bipartisan group, Senator Langford, Senator Murphy, Senator Sinema, and they put together a really tough immigration proposal that could pass in a bipartisan way. The plan was so tough, that it was supported by the Wall Street Journal editorial page, the fount of hard-right conservatism in America.
As a real
it was
plan
supported
on
by the
immigration.
Border
I know,
Patrol
'cause we
Union. They've been right-wing and pro-Trump. It was supported by the Chambers of Commerce because it was tough and strong. It stopped fentanyl, if we enacted it, from coming over our borders by using these fentanyl detection machines. It increased the number of people who would apprehend people crossing the border. And it even had a cap on any immigration if too many people came across the border. So it was tough and strong. A lot of Republicans liked it at the beginning. When they were shown to it, they said, I'm amazed. Democrats are really moving in a tough, strong direction on border. And then Donald Trump, their leader, said, I don't want him to do anything on the border. I want it to stay a crisis for a whole year so I can win the election. Can you imagine the nerve, the chutzpah of this guy? Here they say the border's an emergency, that we better fix it. Here we have a plan that fixes it in a bipartisan way, and Trump says, hold it out for political advantage and let this so-called crisis fester for another year.
Ridiculous.
Trump's the loser on this, and I'll say one more thing. Before we came up with this plan, and I was very proud to help put it together and push it, Democrats were on their back foot on immigration. Now we are on our front foot. We are saying we have a bipartisan plan. They don't want to solve the problem. They just want rhetoric. And guess what? There's a poll in the Wall Street Journal, hardly another liberal publication, today that said Americans side with what we're doing. So we have totally reversed this border issue. We still have to answer some questions, but now we're on our front foot, not our back foot.
All right.
Thank you. So I agree with like and they were on there for the last how many years? We have not pushed hard for this.
What did he say in a nutshell? You know, I couldn't hear it.
He said pretty much what I was saying is that the Democrats been sitting on it for 4 years, like I said, and then all of a sudden now they trying to push this bill, which is a bipartisan bill, which they all sat down together,
And
Republicans
got great
and
support
Democrats
from the Republicans.
And then as soon as it was ready to be passed, Donald Trump swooped in with his comb over hairstyle and said, don't pass this bill until I win. And then all of the little crickets, just like this
minions,
just like this AG lady who came in, big dummies, said, oh, it was a crisis. Oh my God, they're killing us.
No, they said, hold up, wait a minute, hold up.
Oh my God,
don't pass it.
Venezuela sending over criminals. They're all coming over the border.
Like Marjorie Taylor
They're
Greene.
gonna chop us up in pieces in the middle of the night.
Oh
my God. We gotta do something. Do something. And then they put the bill out.
Hey.
Well, but Trump said hold off until November. Okay, so I'll stay like this until November. Oh God. Oh, it's May. Oh Lord Jesus.
And
The summertime's here.
Some of them are not even doing that.
Oh my God. Oh, July.
You're doing a little too much.
How am I going to have a cookout?
No,
Those Venezuelans are going to chop me up. Oh my God. Oh, September's here. Oh, we're going to have a Labor Day picnic. Oh, we got to cancel the picnic. Oh my God. Oh, they're going to chop us up.
So you are even doing some of them are not doing anything. They're not even showing any expression.
The kids can't go. Halloween trick or treat in October. Oh my God.
And that's why Biden, Kim, that's why Biden made the comment. We got it.
Fix it.
Now, Trump, if you're going to be telling your puppets what to do.
Fix it.
Now, you holding off until you get in with your Superman cape. Like, let me come in and do this.
Instead of doing cartoon characters of me and the vice president, call those people in the chamber and fix it. If you don't like my bill, or the bill, not actually my bill, the bill you guys came up with the Democrats, well, then come over, you come up with a bill and fix it.
I wonder what would happen if...
Or shut up talking about
it. More and more situations like the woman that was attacked by the
Venezuelans. They pull up one incident where a migrant kills a woman. Well, you know who else was running and they got killed? Ahmaud. How about that? Yes. How about all the black men that go running and don't come back home?
Yeah, you're right.
Since you're so up in arms, but guess what? Those weren't migrants that killed Ahmaud. Yeah. They were down-home country boys.
There you go. So please.
You got to send them over to Mexico when you send the migrants back over here too?
No, they in jail. Thank you. Justice.
You're so up in arms about people running and getting killed.
Right.
How about Ahmaud?
Yeah.
You wasn't up in arms about him getting killed.
Yeah, because you were saying people are concentrating on the migrants.
Oh, every time a migrant does a crime, they concentrate on it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I feel like as soon as they do a crime, you're not going to court. You get put right on a bus.
Yeah, don't waste.
And why are you wasting my court time?
Our court cost and everything.
I don't care if you steal a sandal from a store. You're back on the bus and you're out of here.
Yeah.
But that's not for you to get all up in arms and you can't sleep because you're afraid they're going to slice your throat when black people been running and throats been sliced and hung for decades.
Yeah.
And you didn't have all that sympathy then. Huh, you big nut job Republican rebuttal lady.
And Biden did made a pretty much hint about that when he mentioned John Lewis and keeping that vision alive.
Thank you.
We don't want to go back to those days.
We're not trying to go back, make America great again. And just for the record, for those black people that love Trump so much, when he was at that black convention, guess what Trump said?
What?
He said, make America great, but not so much for you guys. I understand. He said, that doesn't fit you. You don't want to go back. He said it. Go look it up. And the black people in the audience was like, quiet. Guess why you were quiet, you big dumb buckets? Because you've been defending that stupid sign, MAGA, all how many years? And then the man who invented it comes to your house and says, not so much for you. Maybe you shouldn't wear that hat.
God.
Maybe that hat's not for you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
If you don't want to wear the MAGA hat, I get it. I got it.
We understand.
Now, he's a moron, but he's smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to go to a black convention and say, maybe you may not want to wear that hat.
But will you buy my gold sneakers, please?
And you could hear a pin drop when he said it. Because they've been defending that word, MAGA, for not decades, but for years. And the man who invented it said, you don't have to say that.
Oh, stop. You really can't. He's thinking about you don't have to. You really shouldn't.
And he's a moron, but he's smart enough to know that.
In the back of their minds, they're thinking, no, make America how it used to be.
I got it.
Dealt with y'all.
He said maybe not so much. Go back and look at it. MAGA, maybe not so much for you guys.
But it don't matter. I let the freedom of our country, you can support whoever you want to support. And that's why I love this freedom. Whatever religion you are, whatever faith you are, thank you, God, for the freedom. Because there's countries, if you read in the Bible, they would knock you out or whatever. Or anything about their leaders, you'll be in prison.
Thank you.
So thank you for the freedom.
Now, is this lady? Where's she at?
That did the rebuttal.
Her.
Mm-hmm. She's a senator.
Even in this picture, she looks crazy.
Alabama senator. Mm-hmm.
What the hell am I watching? This is somebody's thing. Wow. Republicans torch their own rebuttal.
Wow. Now, Sarah Huckabee did a rebuttal, and she did pretty good. You know, Sarah.
Katie Britt is her name.
Katie Britt did it this particular one.
This woman, first of all, creepy as all creepy. Get out.
They said bad acting.
Why would you be sitting in a kitchen?
Well, she said that's the place where she and her husband and the kids gather.
You're a liar.
And they discuss things. They talk
about
things.
No, you don't. Your husband probably barely talks to you.
Yeah.
He's probably with some stripper that's much more fun.
Stop.
Those are the type of wives that their husbands go out in bars and be with some woman dancing on top of the bar with a lampshade on her head.
I thought of a joke that Joy on The View said about being out of shape. And she said Biden's more in shape than Trump. She said the last push-up Trump did was on top of Stormy. I was like, no, Joy. She said the last push-up he did.
No, he didn't. You know he wasn't on top. Okay. I can guarantee you, Stormy Daniels, where it was flipped in that situation.
Well, you know that's what Joy.
Which is why she wants every dime that comes to her. If I gotta go with that thing, I want everything that comes to me.
Every dime.
All the hush money.
But go ahead.
But anyway, this creepy weirdo.
Oh, what happened?
We'll bring her back. It's a commercial.
I didn't know
this creepy weirdo comes in and
she gives her rebuttal.
And then acts like she's baking cookies or something at a place, and then the people are supposed to show up, and then the kids show up, and then she's gonna like put them in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
She act like the world. To me, and I said this before I saw anybody's commentary.
Okay.
She reminds me of one of those infomercials where kids are starving and they show them dying in the street, or big bellies, or animals that's sad.
Give towards this group. Can you help a child
in
today?
the arms of
Can you help a child by giving your best?
Da-na-na,
Because God doesn't want anyone to starve. Now you need to understand that these are God's creation. So just reach out and help and give a dime. If it's a dime all you have, or a nickel or penny, that adds up. And you will save one life. And you will also save the animals that are dying. Please reach out and touch a life.
Now,
She was doing the infomercial.
Hold on. The difference between you and me is I'm a comedian.
Okay.
That's not what she did.
She didn't do that.
She was creepy.
Oh.
You did it where a normal person was.
Sorry, I couldn't be her.
Now I'm her,
Do her.
and you sing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Give to one and all.
There's bloody people. Bloody Americans.
You will say
laying in the streets.
Today.
America.
Give your best.
We need you.
Give your all.
We need you, America.
Give your life to
Hey,
someone.
you ever
Reach out
notice
and touch
that there's people
someone
out there
saving a life,
dying
you will
from
save
migrants
lives
coming over the border?
today.
Me and my husband just talked about it.
When you give money
Before we made love, we talked about it.
You help them feed.
We talk about it every night.
Feed their son.
We have to
You'll
do
help their
something.
mother
Do something. Do something.
No, kid.
Do something.
Was she that bad?
She went through 16 characters.
I know she did. They did talk about her. I didn't know. I was trying to figure out where she was going because she was on.
Biden needs to do something. We're dying over here in America.
But you know, she said that she's.
I can't even take my garbage out in peace. I'm in Alabama.
Okay.
A state with a history of killing black people. But the migrants somehow from Texas are terrorizing me and my family.
Alisa, what is it? Alyssa.
Yeah.
And Schumer, they said this is like another side of her. And maybe because the camera was on her to do this, because they work with her.
She was overacting.
Yeah. She didn't need to do that. She needed to be herself. And I think that's what they were waiting for her to be herself. And she wasn't.
And let me tell you another thing. She was on Trump's list of vice presidents.
Wow. How they know his list?
They said he has a short list and they can name some of the people. They don't know who he's going to pick.
And she was
one of them. Ooh. And I guarantee you after last night, he crossed her name out just as fast as you can go.
He probably did.
I don't need no creepy woman on my as a vice president.
Did other Republicans make comments about her? Because
they thought she was.
People felt.
You know how bad she was on Truth social media? Trump posted, she did a wonderful job, great job. Do you know how bad she was? Mega people responded to his post and said she was horrible. She was creepy. They couldn't find anybody else. They said she's the exact opposite of you, Trump.
You mean they didn't agree with Trump on that one?
No, and they posted it right underneath his post. They said she's the exact opposite of you.
Yeah.
She's what people don't want.
But then again, don't he want someone that's like Pence?
No, Pence.
No, like Pence, where they're very conservative. They are probably, you can push them around and they're doing nothing. They're just there as a figurehead.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I meant.
Well, that's not her. She came off creepy. Okay. If she wouldn't have come off creepy, I think she would have still been on the list.
Okay.
Because she would have been somebody he could push around.
Yeah.
Big dummy.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Emerald said, buy those stupid shoes. She probably said that to that person that was in here.
Yeah.
Monica said, hey guys, I am late. Didn't have no Wi-Fi. Whoa. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies. Christopher says, yes, her rebuttal was very doom and gloom. The world is ending. Monica said, thanks to God for Biden. Christopher says, even her fellow Republicans were embarrassed by her.
That's what I was saying. They were like, ooh. We messed up putting her in there.
Okay, so we got Shannon. We're gonna talk about Shannon, Wendy, and then we'll do Charlemagne the God's Donkey of the Day, and then you're on.
Okay.
We'll do Wendy's story time after that.
Okay.
All right, Shannon. Okay. Let's talk about Shannon. Poor Shannon.
What's going on with him? Somebody teasing him.
Shannon Sharpe. They've been teasing Shannon Sharpe.
He should be used to it.
What?
Is he used to being teased?
What do you mean?
I mean, he can't come out with any, you know how a person got a show. Remember?
Let's show what he did.
Okay.
This is him showing up he has a liquor that he sells.
Oh.
And he goes to different places to sign.
Here's the final stop of the day. Total Wines. See the line started over there. My last stop of the day. We got up early, had a late night. We don't do excuses here. We just get the job done. Because this one we signed up for.
They cracking on how he walks and the purse and all of that. And the tight suit. Okay? Now.
He bow-legged, ain't
he? He bow-legged. Now this is all the guys who are making fun of him.
Ooh. I'm gonna boo the hip hops. You know how we do. Back in Happy Tuesdays, Happy Tasting Tuesdays. As you know, it's your host with the most. You know, it's Big Shay, not the little ones. But you know how we do. Beautiful, blessed mornings. We are blessed. We woke up, so we had.
That's him doing Shannon. It's a bunch of them. Look at this guy.
You know what? He got fake muscles.
Today, we got up early. We don't make excuses. But today, we finna go in here and get a couple wines. We're going to see what today consists of, because we don't make excuses. Come on and follow.
Look at
with that purse and the walk. They wrong for that.
Oh,
no, keep
going. He got an orange purse too, like him.
We up early today, about to go get us some wine. Well, we had a long night up early, but you know we signed up for this though, because this is what we do. Early morning, follow me.
They wrong. They wrong.
Seems like a natural to me. Terry, don't do this. Do not do this. First off, you didn't.
That's just
they
wrong.
Just wrong. They were doing him all way.
Oh my God.
All way.
With the orange purse. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness.
Poor Shannon.
Oh, I'm thinking, hopefully he's taking this in the stride.
Now, he comes out and this is what his answer is to all of that.
Okay. Somebody see something that goes viral, then everybody will start piggybacking that. But I know Total Wines. I need somebody else to go in front of Total Wines and put on that green outfit.
Yeah.
Because they just ordered 2,000 more cases. So go, I need everybody. Hey, y'all that did it. Right. I need y'all some more people to go do it. Because Total Wine just ordered 2,000 more cases. So I appreciate that. And you know, we talked about this, Ocho. Everybody was talking about, well, how much money I made during the Cat Williams interview. Whatever you think, I just got the check. So whatever you think I made, 3X it.
Let me see.
So if you think I made 500,000, 3X it. If you think I made $1 million, 3X it.
Let me see.
If you think I made 2 million, 3X it. Total Wines hit us up. They said, well, hold on.
Yes, sir.
We want some of that. So thanks to y'all, I'm about to be in California, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Baltimore. So keep on doing it. I need y'all to keep on doing it. Hey, don't you stop now. Don't y'all hating mofos stop.
Yeah.
Take y'all ass, raggedy ass right back in front of the Total Wine and do it all over again. Sometimes you can fall out of God's favor by your actions and your words. I'm done with it.
With your own. He said raggedy ass. Oh, Shannon.
Now,
okay.
thank you for embracing it.
They help promote promote
because
him.
last time he got mad.
He got
with people.
upset. That's
he
why
got
I was wondering
upset.
where he was going to go with this.
And if you get upset, they gonna mess with you even worse.
Yes.
But if you let them know, thank you for keeping my name out there.
And the wine, I sold a lot of wine because of that.
What I showed you is nowhere near how many comedians did him.
Oh, goodness.
It was back to back to back.
Oh, with that orange
purse and that green outfit. And walking like that. Now, some guy who's a Shannon Sharpe fan, he likes him.
Okay.
He came back. He said, I don't like all of that. He said, first of all, Shannon Sharpe, y'all making fun of somebody who pulled himself up by his own bootstraps. He grew up in the poorest of the poorest. He had to grow up with his grandmother. He had a speech problem. He had to work through that. Mm-hmm. He was he had to work in school to maintain. He was cut from teams. He had to work hard to be the best. Then when he got on NFL or whatever, he was good. He had to work hard. Everything he's done, he's worked hard to get there. Okay. And then he's a nice Christian man. He gives to church and to all different kind of organizations. He just saying, he's had 2 hip operations. That's why he walks like that. He's had knee operations. So y'all making fun of the way he walks and he can't help it. And then he can't dress. So he was trying to say, leave him alone. He's gone through a lot.
Oh, give that up. You on social media.
The bottom line is, Kat told him, because of you making a success on this show, they gonna come after you, brother. Kat told him. He said they gonna come after you.
And even if they didn't know he was making a success, the fact that they're coming after him is making him successful.
Exactly.
So quit trying to... That's what we were saying when Lizzo was having her issues with the feedback that she was getting about her size and her dancers and stuff. And she had to get off social media because she couldn't take it.
Right.
You really, really need thick skin.
Yeah.
If you're going to be on social media. You really need... Because people would talk about your hair, your teeth, your mama,
everything,
your feet, everything.
Now, Justice Frost says he needs a woman to dress him right.
With that orange purse.
That was funny. Okay. Now,
but that's good. He's made a lot of money on this.
A lot of money.
That's right.
Now, every day you always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is.
Right.
Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Oh, I didn't show this picture of him. They wrong for that.
Who did that?
I don't know. Somebody did pictures like that.
Oh, wow.
They doing all kinds of stuff.
The purse not orange enough.
No. Well, feel like a football. Now, you always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is. Right? Mm-hmm. 2 women allegedly drove a dead man to the bank on a weekend at Bernie style plot to withdraw his money.
I don't know what they were thinking.
It says here, 2 Ohio women allegedly propped up the dead man in the car.
That movie.
and withdrew hundreds of dollars from his bank account before dropping the corpse off at the hospital. Lauren Ferrallo, 55, and Karen Casbon, 63, were accused of driving the body of Douglas Lehman, 80, to a bank drive-through on Monday. The women who were not related to him but lived with him in the city, about 50 miles from Cleveland, removed the body from his home with the help of a third person. And they propped him up. They drove to the bank, propped him up.
Like with that movie.
And like Weekends at Bernie. And took money out. So, the bank teller looking and they see him.
Oh.
So they think he okay.
They needed him visually in the car. Because I was like, why are they doing all that? But yeah, if they're taking money out of his account.
It said as long as the bank would have drawn, as long as he's accompanied them. And they made sure he was accompanied them.
My mom had to be with me for a check that had her name on it.
But you went in, right?
No, that was one time.
See, you could have propped her up.
She wasn't dead, though.
I'm saying of what they did.
But Mama was in the passenger side. Remember, Ma? And
that's what they did,
And the teller saw my mom in the car. And then
see, they don't have to say nothing.
He was dead.
They propped him up.
That's a good idea. If they wouldn't get caught. Oh my goodness. How they get caught?
Well, I guess
Did the teller recognize he was dead?
It said police eventually located Chisholm and Ferrello, who identified Douglas and said he had died at his home. The 2 women who have lengthy rap sheets were charged with theft and gross abuse of a corpse. I think they shouldn't have dropped him off at the hospital. That's how they know he was dead.
Oh, they should put him back in the house.
Well, then they would have been with a corpse then, I guess.
No, they could have taken him back to the house. Oh, because they live in the same house.
They live in the same house.
Well, that's what they would have called the police then. Have him back in the house and call and say, we came home from somewhere and he was dead.
It says his cause of death was
Listen, I'm giving direction on how to do this.
It says his cause of death was not yet known and the bizarre incident remains under investigation.
Wow. I wonder did they remember that from a movie and that's why they
Somebody said it's similarities to the 1989 dark comedy Weekend at Bernie's, in which two idiots try to pretend that their slain employer in the Hamptons is still alive so that they wasn't suspected of killing him.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
They did a real life Weekends at Bernie's.
They sure did. And they got money out of his account. Wow, these two ladies. Okay. All right.
Okay, Wendy. It is time for Storytime trivia. Picture this. Oh, I'm sorry, Wendy. You supposed to say it. We'll get it right. We'll get it right.
Sorry, Wendy.
Go ahead, Wendy. You say it.
Story time.
Picture this.
Well,
okay.
They said that she had the voice of an angel. She sang in the company of Etta James, Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, and Dinah Washington.
Lena Horne?
She was born.
Oh.
She was born in 1896.
Ooh.
Who is this? She was also the first Black woman on television.
Oh, Diane Carroll? No, she wasn't born in
1896.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't know.
Because that's 96.
She was the first Black woman to have a TV show.
90.
That's not Diane Carroll. Who is it?
Okay.
She wasn't born in
No, not in the 1800s.
You want me to give you a clue? You want me to give you a clue?
Yeah, give us another clue.
Her last name is something you drink every day, or you should.
Water?
Oh, Ethel Waters? No.
There you go, Ethel Waters.
Okay.
Really? Wow. She was born in 1892.
Wow.
Ethel Waters was born in 1896. She was a product of a violation. This is how she came into the world. Her mother was violated. Her whole family disowned her because of that. They shunned her and ostracized her and wouldn't treat her right. They kind of like really turned their back on her. And she didn't live in a good environment because, for example, her aunts would have sex with men with her in the bed with them, even though she was a little girl. And at 13, her mother gave her to a man. Of course, you know, he abused her. When he abused her, she ran away on the Carnival freight train, which was something like vaudeville. And she also joined vaudeville. But she did very well. She very quickly landed a job working with Bessie Smith in the club. So she got off to a good start. She was one of the first people to have her own television show. As I said, it was called Beulah.
Oh.
She also appeared in Stormy Weather, Cabin in the Sky, Am I Blue? His Eyes on the Sparrow. And she did very well with that. She was nominated for 2 Oscars and 1 Emmy Award.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
She traveled all over the world. One day she was in a horrible car accident. In the car accident, the car was literally on top of her.
Ooh.
All the people in the car, the men in the car, tried to push the car off of her. They could not. They saw a group of white men walking down the street. They said, "Hey, can you guys help us?" They said, "Hell no, I hope that witch dies." Well, you know, they didn't say witch. I hope that witch dies. And they wouldn't help her. While she's laying under the car, the hot water from the radiator is leaking all over her breasts and her chest. She has a stab in her leg going from her hip to her knee, and her ribs are broken. Well, the men didn't give up. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally got the car off of her. They rushed her to the hospital, but you know what happened when she got to the hospital? They said, "We can't see her. She's a Negro woman. Take her to the Negro hospital." They had to drive way to the other side of town. And then when they got there, she still could not be seen until she was assessed by a white doctor. So she got assessed by the white doctor. Then they switched her back over to the black side, where she did not get seen. She did not get any medication. She did not get cleaned up, bandaged up for a whole day. She laid in pain, in agony, suffering, all because she was black.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the era she lived in.
Wow.
She got blackballed, though, because when she was on Stormy Weather on the movie set, she could not stand Lena Horne.
Wow.
She said Lena Horne was the nastiest witch she had ever met. And one day, Lena Horne was on set, and she twisted her ankle, and all the men went crazy. One man even went as far as to get her a pillow to put under her foot. And when she did this, Ethel Waters busted out laughing so hard that they isolated her after that. Nobody would work with her. But she couldn't stand Lena Horne. She said Lena Horne was a horrible person.
Wow.
Okay.
As life went on, though, and also Joe Louis liked her, which everybody said was unusual because everybody knows Joe Louis only dated white women. Mm-hmm. But he liked her. But she was bisexual. Oh. And she had a relationship with a woman also. But in the end, her life changed because guess where she ended up? She ended up constantly going on tour on the Billy Graham crusade.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. She was a big fan of Billy Graham, and she worked with him through the last part of her life.
Wow. That's a good team to get.
She died in 1977 from kidney failure and uterine cancer. She was 80 years old.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That was Ethel Waters.
That's good that
80
she
years
lived her
old.
last days with Billy Graham's team.
Yeah, she spent her last days with him.
That's good. Okay.
Our next celebrity, he was a trendsetter, innovator, mysterious, an enigma, aloof, gifted, a pioneer, known by a color. He's in the company of Michael Jackson, Jimi Hendrix, and James Brown. Who is it?
Is he a musician himself?
Yes.
Prince?
Prince.
Ooh.
I was going to say, I was getting ready to give you a clue. I was going to say, dearly beloved.
Yeah, that's the only person that would be in that same category.
Yeah, it's Prince. Prince was born in 1958. His mother was a jazz singer. His father was a jazz singer and a pianist and a songwriter. Him and his father had a strained relationship. For example, he had a piano in the house, but Prince was only allowed to touch it every now and then. He couldn't put his hands on it. Prince also suffered from terrible epileptic seizures. And he had one day, and he told his mother, he said, "Mom, I'm not having any more of these seizures." She said, "Why do you say that?" He said, "Because an angel told me." And he never had another seizure.
Okay.
His mother and father's relationship was tumultuous. It was very, strained. They argued all the time. And eventually he ended up separating and getting a divorce. When his father and mother divorced, Prince played that piano and played it and played it and played it as much as he wanted to and taught himself how to play. He went to live with his father sometimes after they divorced, and it worked out really well until his father caught Prince in the bed with a grown woman. His father got mad and threw him out. He went down the street and he stayed with some friends, got caught in the same situation with a girl. The mother in the house was very upset with Prince, so he decided to stop playing and get serious. He started sending his demo tapes to Warner Brothers Records. And finally they accepted one. It was "I Want to Be Your Lover." That sold 1 million copies in 2 weeks. They said, "We got to get this guy."
Wow.
Yeah. He also had a horrible relationship with Rick James when they were on tour. Rick James' mother spoke to Prince, and Prince didn't say anything to her. And Rick got very mad and chased Prince down, was getting ready to beat him up. Prince kept saying, I didn't hear. So they didn't get along too well.
Wow.
But anyway, if you remember back in 1998, Prince put that he didn't want us to call him Prince anymore. He wanted us to just call him a symbol. And he wrote that word on his face, slave. And the reason he wrote slave on his face was because he felt Warner Brothers had him as a slave because they wouldn't let him have his music.
Yeah.
But he won that case. Some people to today think that may be why he's dead today. But anyway, he did very well. He dated a lot of women, as you know. He dated Vanity. He dated Marvin Gaye's daughter for a long time. He dated Nona Gay, but she got pregnant. Prince told her she had to get rid of that baby. He also dated Carmen Electra. He cheated on her because he's a serial cheater. He cheated on her and she was so mad. She went and had sex with another man and said to use Trojan to Prince.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ew.
Ugh.
And he finally met the woman who became his wife. Her name was Mate. Her mother had brought her to a Prince concert and bought a demo tape of her dancing, and Prince really liked it, but she was too young. So he pulled what I call an Elvis. 6 months before she turned 18, Prince got guardianship over her and she started living in his house. And he didn't touch her until she became 18, which I think is kind of creepy if you ask me. The day she becomes 18, you have sex with her? Really strange. But anyway, he ended up marrying her. And she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, there was some problems. And the doctors told her, he said, look, miss, we need to do some more tests on your baby. We need to take some more tests. Prince said, no, nobody's touching my wife. He said, but we need to. They said, no. So when the baby was finally born, it was born with severe dwarfism. It had no eyelids. Its head was shaped like a clover. It had webbed feet. It had webbed hands, and his eyes were outside of its sockets. It lived for 6 days.
Oh yeah,
And then Prince pulled the plug, but he lied about it.
Yeah.
Because when he went on Oprah and she asked him about the baby had already been dead about 3 months.
Wow.
But he was acting like the baby was still alive. And he blamed Mate for it, his wife. And then she got pregnant again, but she lost the baby.
Wow.
So Prince turned off. He told he divorced her. He told his team, burn everything that concerns her. As a matter of fact, burn these ashes of the baby over again.
Wow.
Really weird. Yeah. He did a lot of weird things. Like he was invited to We Are the World. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
He was offered the Hollywood. He was offered 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He wouldn't accept it. Michael wanted him to do Just Beat It with him, but he said he didn't want to do the song because he wasn't about to say your bud is mine, and he didn't want Michael to say it to him either. So he said that's why he turned it down. But you know, Prince was a little outside. He was a little strange.
Right.
But he was a great artist. Then whenever he did shows, and if you've seen the show or seen him in concert, you know he was always jumping off of the amplifier, jumping off top of a 6-foot amplifier, sliding on his knees across the stage. This is how he messed up his hip and his knees.
Wow.
This is how he got hooked on painkillers. One night he was on an airplane and he was in a coma. They got so scared they landed the plane.
Yeah, I remember that.
When they landed the plane, the doctors had to give him Narcotan. Narcotan is something you give somebody to OD.
Yeah.
And they gave him that stuff, and it woke him up. And they told him, you need to stay here. He wouldn't stay. He went home. And why the hell he went home by himself is beyond me. Yeah. But he was alone. Yeah. Then there was some footage of him riding a bicycle, and people say he was looking for drugs because he was on Vicodin, but when he died, he had fentanyl in his system. Wow. And it's so sad because the day after he died, a specialist in drugs was coming to help rehabilitate him. The next day, he was on his way out there. But when they found him, he had been dead in his elevator for 6 hours.
Wow.
And everybody was saying it was weird how his son, he had that song and say, I'm not gonna let the elevator take me down.
Yeah.
Oh, no, let's go.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, so that is the story of Prince Roger Nelson.
Wow.
It seemed like the movie when Purple Rain, he was showing a little bit probably of his mom and dad's relationship.
Yeah.
By the way, he won 7 Grammys, and he won an Oscar for Purple Rain, best song.
Yeah. Wow, that was his best album.
Yep.
And he won 7 other Grammys also.
Yep.
So and he plays 27 instruments. That's another thing he did when he went to Warner Brothers. He played the demo. He had done all the voices and all the instruments. They said, "We got to get this guy." He played 27 instruments. But that's the story of Prince Rogers Nelson, and he died at 57 years of age.
Wow, he was young.
He was very young.
He could have kept on.
Yeah,
Him and
but
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he died in 2006. So what, he's been dead about 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's good. Good news. Good news that we didn't
Prince
know before.
Rogers Nelson, but we still have his work, thank God. That's the good news.
Yep.
And like you said, with Ethel Waters, she was on the road with Billy Graham, so good ending.
That's something we didn't know, so that's good.
That's a blessing.
You got your little clapping
Yeah.
thing. You want to?
But I
Thanks,
thought it was
Wendy.
I thought it was so sad about his baby. Thank you. And how his baby looks.
I know. With the
web feet and web hands.
Oh, and it didn't make it either.
I mean, his eyes were outside of his socket. But anyway, those are the stories. Everybody has a story. Everybody.
Oh no.
You always say that. I can bring her back, Lenore.
But why does it keep popping out like that? You said the commercials?
Yeah. So just relax.
Are we going to let the elevator break us down or bring us down?
All right, Wendy.
Did you put up pictures of Prince when he was on there?
Yeah.
And Ethel Waters.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I have to go see the replay. Are we ready to go into prayer?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Father God, all minds clear. We come once again before your throne of grace. Lord God, before I get started today, I just want to give you thanks. I just want to take a minute to thank you for all of us here. We're alive. We have our health and strength. We can see, we can hear, we can talk, we can speak, we can walk. And even those that have had strokes or fighting cancer or something else, they're still here. They're still alive. And we want to thank you for life today, Father God. We didn't have to wake up this morning. So we want to thank you for that. We also want to pray for forgiveness for anything we did, knowingly or unknowingly, God. Sometimes we sin and we don't even know what we're doing. So we ask your forgiveness. And Lord God, I pray for each and every member of the chat, Lord God, whatever their heart's desire is, Lord, I pray that you would hear their cry, Lord. Some people are crying, God. I pray you wipe their tears, Father God.
Yes. Definitely say no.
This week, is in a particular situation, there's a news story on that needs prayer, God. I pray, Father God, you would comfort them, Lord, in the name of Jesus. And even Shannon, he laughs it off, but he's a human being. That probably hurt him deeply. And I pray that he would be able to shake it off and get tough and know he's got to get tough because they're coming. Yeah. The more famous he gets, like they say, new level, new devil. So, Lord God, we thank you for this opportunity. And Lord God, now we like to close things out. If there's anybody we forgot, Lord, you remember them, Lord, in Jesus' name. Don't forget to get their book on Amazon. Family Friendly Joke. All you got to do is take 1 second to click. Just click on it and get it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And always believe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. Good night, Mom.
See you later, Wendy. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good night, chat room.
And everybody in
Good
the
night,
chat.
Mom.
See you later, TikTok.
Have a safe
TikTok.
weekend. And this is the weekend of the Oscars, Academy Awards.
Oh yeah, don't forget to watch the Oscars.
All right.
And move your time too on Sunday.
Oh, tonight.
Right.